Dr.S.Gandhiya Vendhan completed his Ph.D. and M.Tech in Information Technology from Anna University. He received postdoctoral fellow from IIT and ICMR New Delhi, India. He completed International Six Sigma Master Black Belt from ISL, Advanced Data Science from iNeuron, and also Certified Data Science, Big Data and IoT from SAS. He completed an MSc and M.Phil from Bharatiya University. He is currently an assistant professor from Bharatiya University since 2016. Before, he has been an assistant professor from Tamil Nadu Agriculture University and several Indian institutions. He has more than 12 years of teaching experience and 19 years of research experience of imparting information technology, statistics, data analytics, Six Sigma training and projects, which includes learners from different streams, faculties and certifications to corporate employees. He has strong contribution syllabus training of various subjects at the several universities, academic institutions, and other levels. He organized the international national programs several times, and he has awarded multiple honors such as Outstanding Academic Research Award, UGC, Postdoctoral Fellowship from Indian Institute of Technology, IIT, and the University Research Fellowship. He has authored and co-authored several papers in different international journals and conferences. He participated in several international and national conferences, seminars, workshops, symposia. He attended in a refresher course, orientation course, summer school, short-term training program, faculty development program, and other training program. He has successfully completed many certifications. He is also the resource person in the various events. Various invited talks have been delivered by him through his academic career. He also served in various committees for various academic, administrative, and evaluation purposes. He is the editor, board member of several high-reputed journals. He served as a reviewer of many international journals, international and national conferences. He has been also general chair, co-chair, and sessions of many international conferences, including IEEE and international conferences. He is the acting of a program committee, scientific committee, publicity committee, organizing committee, and a technical program committee such as IEEE, ACM, Springer, elsewhere, Scopus, and so on. Active professional membership like IEEE, ACM, and so on. So now we have an eminent and resource person of Dr.S.Gandhiya Vendhan among us. Now, sir, would like to invite you to start the session. Over to you, sir.
Gandhiyan sir. Hello, Gandhiyan sir. Sir, please share your screen, sir.
Okay, Professor.
Sir, please share your screen, sir. Now it is okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. First of all, thanks to Dr. Babu, Professor, and organizing conference committee members and other things. So I would like to thanks to the conference organizing institution and authority there. So let's go my topic for medical open network for the and data science. It is one of the recent encouragement of the this area, how to connect with the design thinking for data acquisition inside under the industrial and research and development. The healthcare sector devices reference one of the fast growing sectors in the digital development, especially for IoT markets. In fact, the value of this sector which is some is called the Internet of Medical Things, is predicted for very high altitude of things. To understand what the IMOT means for IoT as the whole and how healthcare IoT device need to be the monitoring and managing the for any kind of things, understanding the multiple tasks, multiple ways in which IoT device can be used in the healthcare. This based on my presentation, the real-time application the associated with the government hospital, then district headquarters is very huge number of patients and a lot of surgery institutions there. And the challenges with the patient monitoring is ensuring that highly personal data applications, data such as data science and engineering methodology to secure for the private and the encryption legal applications. Now, the application, the pathology department's digital pathology slide scanners generated the most images there. It's representative to few minutes person. My network some problem with that.
Sir, your voice is completely noise, sir.
Is
Not,
nice,
not
sir.
audible too.
Yeah, wait, sir, wait, sir. Just check it. So this is the so due to heavy rain there, some minutes, sir, my technical people they hand over this. 2 minutes, sir. I sort out that problem. Only sir. So, sorry for the starts. Let I continue my talk. It's digital pathologies. Slide scanners generated to the massive images. For especially, it is the glass sides are routinely the scan at the magnification, resulting in the gigapixel images. That time, the comparison can reduce the file size to especially this application, real-time application to the healthcare sector, the government hospitals. For microbiological laboratory, the every slide, the convert to the reduce the performance based on things. But this value of the data is still challenging to move around, save, load, and view. To view a typical whole slide image at full resolution would require a monitor about the size of some code is there. That is the locations. The like the histopathologies, the associate with microbiology department, the associate with the pathology department, histopathology department, the both genomics and microscope can easily generate the terabytes of the data. Some use cases that involving the multiple modalities. Getting this data in a more manageable size, the usability involved in the progressive the transformation of the things. This situation that happen to the every laboratory is there. This is for the focus for the surgical sites infection. This is area of the one of the big problem in the Indian every hospital is there. That is for the pre and post surgery there. Until only the most silent features remain, this post expose the after the surgery after post expose some wave to this data inflation of the might be the accomplished. The data of type of used and how to such the artificial intelligence other replication thing is that can unlock the meaningful of the insights. It's one of the things that happened here. It features as typically digital histology images as an examples, as these are now used for the routine clinical setting across the global. It is everything is there. The medical networking artificial intelligence is a set of the some collaborative the framework automations for the accelerating the research and the clinical collaboration in medical images. Then the repeated of the digital voice or otherwise image capturation is a shoot of the libraries for the building the end-to-end the data science and analytical pipelines of the GPU applications. Yeah, computer vision, the processing software libraries for the multi-dimensional images is isolating the images for the network AI, and the diffuses the library helps with the data transfer requiring the workflow scenarios. The imaging data, how to handle with the whole slide of the image. This is taking from the laboratories. Previously, the work has shown the some scan speed of the loading of the whole slide images. See that for the examples, isolating the SkyKist images APS with the dimensional image processing and output of the GPU is there. One of the previous example is there. But what about the rest of the pipeline? which may include the image pre-processing, inferences, post-processing, visualizations, and analysis. It is happen to the image functionality. Yeah, growing the number of the instrument capture the variety of data, including multi-sectional images and the genetical and proteomic data, all of which present the similar challenges. The whole slide images are usually saved in a primate format is there. One of the format is there that enable the faster loading, viewing, and navigation the images. At each level of the primate of the images may be separated into the many tiles. The disease such as the cancer emerged from the cell nuclei, that one of the, for example, it is exactly that is different from which are only the 5 to 20 microns in the size, is very microns of size. To design the varies of the cell subtypes is the shape, color, internal textures, and patterns need to be the visible in the pathologies. This require very large images. The every images high resolution images, for example, 40 example of the cell, in which some internal structure of the cell nucleus that can be in the image credited to the every slide is there. For examples, the given that the common input of size, the 2D deep learning algorithm is there, such as the density is there, is usually the around for the 200 into 200 pixels. The high resolution images need to be the split into the patches potential of the every slide is. I think this laboratory is for the 1 million slide is there. The how to increase the development of the micro only for the microbiology department is there. The slide, the preparation and tissue staining the process can take for the some hours is there. While the value of the low latency inference result in the minimal, some bugs is there. The analysis must till keep up of with the digital scanner acquisition, the rate to prevent of the backlog of function is there. One of the format is there. The throughput is there for the critical, that is the situation is there. The way to improve the throughput is to process, make the faster the compute the many images of simultaneously, simulation and the modeling further. Now the how to efficient for the potential solution is there. The data scientists and the developers have considered the many approaches to make the problem more tractable to that. Given the size of the images and the limited time of the pathologists have to make the diagnosis, that is very crucial time is there. That is for the include the OT time is there equal to OT time, operation theater time, the surgery time. There is no practical way to the view the every slide the pixel at the full resolution. Instead, they view the images at the lower resolution and the zoom into the regions. They identify the as likely to contain feature of the interest. They can usually make the diagnosis have the view 1 to 2% of the full resolution images. In some respect, this is like a detective at a crime scene. That is the how evaluated the crime scene of things. It is the medical term. The most of the scheme
Sir, your voice is not audible. Sir, your voice is not audible, sir.
Not audible, sir.
Participant, please stay online. Participants, please stay online. I think the resource person is facing some technical issue. Daniel sir, you're in a muted, sir. Please unmute your mic.
No, fine, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. This is for the one of the prominent of the application IoTs, the based on the sensor networks. The how to use it for the healthcare of nanotechnologies and IoT of health to thinking for the some development of new features is there, ML is there, and the surgery is there, surgery industrial. The surgery looking for the IoTs they're using for the computer vision, deep learning, the neural networks is there. Next, including for the algorithm, SVM, DT is there. The futures of the things is happen to the artificial intelligence, IoT is there. It's now it one of the measurement is that this is the how to using for the data application is there. The design thinking for the non-linear iterative process that can using to understand the user process, the creative for the measurement of things is to be highly identified of things. And now one of the my previous presence is for the surgical surgical site applications. It is very different perspectives there. It is one of the digital biometrical data coded spectroscopy and microbiology is there. The every time the clinical pediatric research they using for the surgical site infection. Based on the, this is one of the medical term is that surgical site infection is an infection that occur after surgery in the part of the body where the surgery took the place of the identified position situation. The SSI can sometimes be superficial infection involving the skin only. The microbiology department, the every global wise, other the surgical site infections are more serious and can involve the tissues under the skin, organs, and the implementation of the materials. The development of process, the environmental situations, uh, the measurements to find out the situation. These are the including this application, the digital bionomical dispersion. The different perspective is there for the type of the SSI that occurs within the 30 days after the surgery. The describe the methodology is the very series of the inspection. The superficial incauses of SSI, these infections occur just into the area of the skin, the surgery for the outlayer of the skin, where the inclusion was the made. That the application for the my MONI and RPA of this there. This is the my application. My previous slide application. These are the digital pathology applications. The deep in cases of surgical site infection, the infection occur the beneath the incusation area in muscles and the tissues that surround the muscles. The organ or spaces the surgical site infection. These type of the infection can be any area of the body other than the skin, muscles, and the surrounding tissues. The situation of things there. These are the situation they using for the these applications. For example, surgical site, the preventions of the abnormal surgeries. For example, one of the case studies, the post-operative, the surgical site infection are among the leading the cause of the morbidities and the increase in the medical infections. The aim of this study is to isolate, identify, and study the antimicrobial disease suspicion of the pattern of the microorganisms from the surgical would have to admit the patient. The methodologies, these respective studies was carried out to the microbiology departments every there. This the reduce the some bacterial growth is common in the surgical set. The streptococcus is one of the bacteria is there, viral is there, and the source of the coil is there. It is one of the term is there. The bacteria microbiology. There is a digital pathology application is there. These are the residencies to carry out the preventive, that is called the protocol of the things, the surgical site infection preventive for the abnormal.
Sir, voice is not audible. Ganyan sir, voice is not audible.
First audible, my voice.
Yes, sir. Now audible. Yes, sir.
It is one of the surgical site infections is there. One of the medical terms is there. The surgical site infection or wound infection that occur after operative procedures. The preventable complications, they are the costly and associated with the poor patient outcomes, increase in the morbidity, and the reoperations of the rates. The surgical wound, the irrigations is an intraoperative techniques. It is one of the real-time case studies, which may be reduced the rate of the surgical site infections through the removal the red dead is are damaged for the tissue, metabolic waste, and the wound excuders. The irrigation can be undertaken period to the wound closer to the post-operativity. The interactivity, the leverage is and similarly the techniques used for the in operations that expose the bodily the cavity, such as the procedure on the abdominal cavity and the during the joint replacement of surgery. The in this focus of the study is to assess the effective of wound the irrigations and the digital pathology applications, the microbiology department associated with the integrity of the knowledge of the surgical site infections. The including the randomization of the controlled trial of the participation undergoing the surgical procedure in which the use of the particular type of the intraoperative was out the irrigations or leverages one of the cause that is the effect of pain was there only for systematic of the different between the groups is there, and which of the wound that is the affected problem. This is not small wound, this is a very tedious of a situation. Underwood the primary closer the primary outcomes of the surgical site infection and wound disgustance. Then secondary outcomes were the mortalities, the use of the systematic antibiotics, antibiotic resistance, adverse the events and re-interventions, the length of the hospital stay and readmissions. The based on the data collections analysis to review the study independently associated study for the inclusion at the EC studies that is called for the medical network of the artificial intelligence data science is using for this application only. The undertook for the data extractions, assessment of the risk of the bias and the grade assessment. Is there one level of the patient's monitoring systems? We calculated the risk ratio or different of the means for the 95% of confidence interval with the possibility of this. For examples, we study one of the case studies. The machine is there, RCP machine is there, 59 RCP machine is there, with the participation for the patients, around for the 15,000 patients. The study assessed the comparisons between the irrigations and the no irrigations, between the antibacterial and the non-antibacterial irrigations, between the different antibiotics and the different of antiseptics and the different of non-antibacterial agents, and between the different methodology of irrigation deliveries. The number of studies compared the antibiotic with the antibiotic irrigations. These are the applications. These are the showing the slides is the microbiology department, pathology department, the hospitals, government, healthcare institutions. The interacted with the measurements. The time the evidence of the conclude this is the project is concluded. The evidence based on the interactivity, leverage and wound irrigations is the generally the low certainty of function. Therefore, where we identify the possibilities different instant of the SSI of functions. Now that is the wholesale whole application of this SSI application to accelerated of the medical image process with the DALI application is that. The deep learning application model require for the vast amount of the data to produce the accurate of the predictions, and this need becomes more acute every day. Yes, models grow the size and the complexity. Every large data sets such as the well-known the ImageNet libraries there, which more than the million images are not sufficient to the achieve the state of the art result in the modern computer vision tasks. For this purpose, data augmentation techniques are required to the artificially increasing the size of the data sets by introducing the randomized disturbances, distribution of the data, such as the genomic deformation, color transformation, noise additions, and so on. These differences help the produce the models that are more robust of their predictions, avoid the overfitting, and deliver the better accuracy. In medical images task, the data augmentation is the critical because of the data sets contained more hundreds of or thousands of sample sets. The best models, on the other hand, to trending the produce the large activities of the recur for the lot of the GPU members, especially when the dealing with the volumetric data such as the CTs and the MRI scan. This typically result of the training with the small batch of sizes, the small data set. To avoid for the overfitting, more elaborate the data pre-processing and augmentation techniques are the required. Pre-processing, however, often they has the significant of effect these overall the performance of the system. This is especially true in the applications dealing with the large inputs such as the volumetric of images. These pre-processed tasks of the typically run on the CPU due to simplicity, flexibility, and availability of the libraries such as the NumPy. I have used the NumPy. In some applications, such as the segmentation or detection of the medical images, the GPU utilization during the training is usually suboptimal of the data pre-processing is usually the permitting of the GPUs. One of the solutions is to attempt to overlap the data process and the training fully, but it is not always the same. Such the performance bottleneck lead to the chicken and egg and the problems in the research of the available. These applications for using for them brain tumor segments challenges include the winning solutions. The solutions managed by the each of the GPU applications to for the performance evaluations. The data loading of the library, that is the DALI. This is one of the applications very huge now. Data loading library DALI. The DALI provide for the set of the GPU oscillator and building the blocks and enable you to build the a complete data processing pipelines that include data loading, decoding, and augmentation, and to integrate it with the deep learning frame network of things is that. The volumetric image operations, the 3D transform to the neighbors, the resize for performances, there resize operators, warp offline of operators. It is one of the rotation operators is the going to the random opposite of the box operators. It is one of the application is there. The medical data size is there. These my sort of conclusions. The time is very close to the function. These operators selected the pseudo random corps that can be biased towards the simplify the particular label. Connected the common analysis is performed on the label map of the development of things is there to equal probability doing the operations of the. You can also collect the restrictor of large number of the k blocks of the specific probability is there. It is one my conclude of things is that you using for the findings the connection the function slowly, but the number of samples in the data can be the small. The operators can be configured the cache of the connected with the commutator comparison, that is the calculated for the fast echo training is the. Now the accelerator for your evolution purpose, it is one of the there. The test DALI PP packages, NGCC container, TensorFlow, TORS, and the MXNet. They have a DALI integrate automatically integrated to reduce. The how DALI the help the accelerated data pre-process of the your deep learning applications. The best performance of the documentation include the numeral analysis is there. It is one of the things is that is my the conclusion for the mobile networks there. Basically this is need for the analysis of data analysis. It is one of the functionality is that it is the include of measurement of things is there. Several application is there. So one of the things is there, otherwise for the design thinking, it is the healthcare application for the matter. So I conclude my session for the using for the neural network, that this application for only for the global wise, that is for the case study, real time case studies. Every headquarters is there, every district is headquarters is there, every India is very large population is there. The headquarters hospital is there. They taking for this application very implementation, very huge application. That is for the surgical site information associated with the medical network of the artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, and also other kind of the data integration technology. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Say any more thing based on my queries.
The participants, any queries? Please ask. Participants, any queries? Please ask.
Yeah, one.
Any queries? Please ask.
One person is Gayatri has raising the hands. I don't know based on the questions. This project for the funding from our government of Tamil Nadu, the funding budget for the 3 crores. This is for only for the one hospitals. So this project for the heavy attitude of funding generation. There we are the team members is there. Medical doctors is there, surgery is there, physician is there, microbiology department is there, pathology department is there. Different perspectives they are framing for this work.
Any other questions? Any other questions?
Is recently one of the Gayatri Madam is asking one of the query is yes, this food learning application is there, one of the ECG form application. The image that is also medical image application is there, food learning there. Then the associated with the data integration, then data explorer. Madam.
Any others? Others? Shall we wind up the session? Shall we wind up the session?
Yes, Professor. So I once again thanks to the organizing committee members and Babu sir and the ICCM of conference persons. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, sir. Sir, I would like to extend my gratitude for your outstanding presentation. The conference on the topic, Medical Network for Artificial Intelligence and Data Science. So you are insightful and engaging talks, left your profound So your ability to illustrate the concepts and the medical AI, that's really remarkable, sir. So your dedication, passion for advancing the intersection of medicine and technology, even throughout your speech and resonated deeply with your voice, with our audience. Just a moment. Now, my audible? My voice is audible?
Yes, sir.
All right. The information shared about the current open networks has not only expanded our understanding, but also ignited our enthusiasm to explore and contribute to this transformation way. Moreover, your practical insights and real-world examples have been the practice of the presentation, marking it not only a for event, and received all positive feedback from attendees who are inspired by your organization. Once again, thank you for taking the time to join us and share your expertise. We are truly honored to have you as a and we look forward to the potential collaborations from the seeds of inspiration you planted during your talk. Thank you, sir. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Professor. Can I leave, Professor?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Participants, please
Thank
fill
you,
the
sir.
feedback link.
Babu sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
All participants, please join at 3:50 p.m. for the next keynote session.